Welcome back to the F1 24 driver career. Today we are at the Temple of Speed. It's the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, although there might not be as much speed as usual. As you can tell just from the right of me here and now just over there, mixed conditions in quali and mixed conditions in the race. We're not sure how mixed or how badly affected by the weather those sessions will be, but they will be affected by the weather. We don't have an email letting us know what the weather is specifically, but we do have an email saying that next year's regulations are on the way. They're not coming yet, though. They've not specified where the regulation changes will be, which departments, but changes will be made. And of course, how well Haas adapt to those changes and or how well Ferrari adapt to those changes will depend on where we end up going at the end of season one, if we end up going anywhere, of course. We've had some good results of late. We feel like the difficulty is about spot on right now, with some good results, some bad results and some extremely good results depending on track. We might find ourselves in a bit of a Spa scenario here at Italy because, of course, it's very much a power track and we very much have the best powertrain. So we might be in for a very good race, although I do suck at Monza, especially the middle of the lap around the two Degnas and the Ascari chicane. So whilst we might have very good pace in a straight line, I might be terrible around the corners. We'll wait and see how that pans out as the race weekend unfolds, especially with, of course, the potential for mixed conditions and rain in the race. So do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save so far. Thank you for your continued support. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more. There was a Creator Series video went live most recently. In fact, no, actually, the most recent one would have been a Zandvoort video from the Dutch Grand Prix. Full disclosure today, significant toothache, so apologies in advance if I'm a little grumpy or if I'm not quite as talkative as I usually might be. There's a lot going on in that bottom jaw right now and I'm booked into the dentist tomorrow morning, so no sick days in this business. You got to power on, so we shall power on, and you can't really power much more on than the straight at Monza, can you? So to Italy we go. Right, resource points added, 390 of which I'm a little apprehensive to start spending them now that we know that the regulation changes are coming. I don't think they'll arrive before, say, Singapore. So I don't think I've got enough resource points to actually upgrade anything anyway, even if I wanted to. But we will hesitate slightly, still not actually giving me a full diagnosis of the weather. But we believe that quali's going to start fully wet and dry up towards the end, and the race is going to start dry, then get wet, then get dry again. So it's going to be an absolute cluster, insert expletive, of a Grand Prix weekend, I think, from a weather perspective, but hopefully from a performance perspective. Now we're putting fresher parts in, we will be competitive to a certain degree. Not expecting to be crazy competitive, because I am, and was compounded by the performance in practice. I am poor at the middle sector here at Monza by 3 or 4 tenths. They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to work. It is wet, as you can see. That is a rainy boy for qualifying. So what happens here in qualifying? We might actually have some upsets, perhaps. Let's go and find out. I don't know whether we're going to gain time here or not. I presume so because of the track surface, but wait and see. We're running about the same sort of fuel as we were when we set that last lap. Definitely break a lot later. Oh, there's loads of time in everyone's laps then. Seconds worth.
30 seconds left in the session.
Fernando goes fastest, yellow flag. McLaren's gone on.
We need to dig deep. We fall to P5. P5 on the grid.
McLaren's gone on at the Ascari chicane, so that's going to cause chaos later in the lap. Thankfully he's back up and running again. We are tumbling down the order from P3 to P11 as it stands right now. We're obviously, as you can see top right, gaining loads of time on our own lap. It was previously P3. Kevin was right up there as well in P2, so you're going to need to set this time because we're P14, P15, Soon to be P16 or 17, I think. There's 16, so we need to go quicker. Charles Leclerc goes fastest with a 1:24.893, I think that said. We saw what K-Mag did on his lap, running wide around Parabolica. We're going 2 seconds faster, and it's good enough for a P18 only, I think that said. Oh! Out in Q1! Entirely unexpected. I did go on a worn set of tyres, but I didn't think it would make that much difference. It really, really did. 1.4 seconds off the pace. Oscar Piastri, 4.7 seconds off the pace because he went off the track at the Ascari chicane. So Oscar Piastri will start 20th and we will start 18th, barring penalties for anyone else. There's going to be a lot of overtaking, I think, in this... In this Italian Grand Prix. It will start dry, which are conditions that will favour us. But I really thought we had more pace than that. Significantly more pace than that. There is more pace than that in the car, because you saw what Kevin did. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. There's your weather forecast for the Grand Prix. We start particularly dry, and then we end particularly wet. Hopefully the rain holds off, but as we normally expect to see, when it's approximate weather conditions, everything basically just gets shifted 2 blocks to the left. Mainly. So that's what we usually tend to expect, so that the rain will probably hit about the halfway mark. Which means we'll have to do half the race on wet tyres that we're not that competitive on, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can make as much progress as possible in the dry, and then hope for some sort of chaos. I don't know. We'll probably go mediums. Well, depending on what everyone else is doing, we will probably go mediums to the rain. But if everyone else is starting on a soft, then I shall have to start on a soft to stick with the pack. DRS is so important around Monza. Max Verstappen on pole, perhaps. He has tended to be starting P1 more often than not this season, but no. Lando P1, Charles Leclerc P2. Was there perhaps some indifferent, inclement weather still? No, Verstappen P3, less than a tenth behind. Nice to see Perez actually performing up in P4 there. Bottas and Magnussen managed to make it through to Q3. Alonso with a penalty, so no, Magnussen didn't make it through to Q3. He was perhaps P11 as others took penalties. We will start, we'll start 18th. Piastri, in the end, a long way off the pace, but that was because he made a mistake and went into the gravel trap. What is everyone else doing? Medium tyres, good. That's what we'll do then. Mediums to the rain, and then we take it from there.
And we can still come away with a decent result.
Genuinely think that the rain will come before we stop for a hard set of tyres, but it appears that the one stop is the faster way around the circuit. Recommends nearly 3 laps worth of extra fuel. Because of the rain coming, I will take some more out. We did find ourselves in a position where we needed to save fuel in Zandvoort last time out, and it potentially cost us a better result, but here I think we should be fine to take some out, knowing that we can save significantly in DRS down the main straight and into Parabolica as well. So I think that's fine strategically. The question is, how much progress can we make before the rain comes? Starting from not quite the very back, but quite a way back, and it's going to be chaos into turn 1 at Monza, as it always is, and we're going to be right in the thick of it, and the inside line as well. Not a bad start. Ricciardo's had a bit of a slow start. Piastri's had a lightning start. He's going for the middle, the inside gap. Ocon's all over the place, nearly going off the track there. Everyone's slamming the ankles on. We'll try and squeeze up the inside and find a bit of space if we can. Hopefully Ocon doesn't turn into me. He didn't. I'll hang it around the outside and get on the power if we can. Now use a bit of battery maybe to try and squeeze past Esteban, who seemed determined to turn into me there. We've made a position. A single position thus far, but not a bad start. I could maybe have thought about throwing up the inside of Logan Sargent, but probably one move too far on this opening lap. Alright, we managed to avoid damage on lap 1, or at least the first half of lap 1 anyway. And we'll take it from there and see what we can do moving forward. I have a funny feeling this might be 53 laps of a DRS train from P1 to P20. big old McLaren sandwich right now. I have a horrible feeling this might be a really, really silly race. At least the rain should hopefully change things up a bit, but and spread the field out.
Right, we need to get
but we might be in a
past
position
here.
where
Use overtake.
it's just one 20-car DRS train until the rain comes. That would be my fear here at Monza. Although that wasn't really a thing in Austria. But, I don't know, this is a bit different to Austria in the manner in which the corners come and how easy it is to stick behind. We'll see what happens. Max is already up into P1, so he's wasted no time whatsoever in doing that. So clearly there are overtakes to be made. It's just a case of will anyone else make them, or is it only going to be at the front that moves get made and then everyone else just goes follow the leader all the way through? Get a better exit than someone, that's the question. A decent exit there. The gap to Sargent, as you can see, top left, is coming down. I might try and make a move on Logan here. I'm going to try and make a move on Logan here. Is he going defensive? He's going defensive. Trying to force him offline, leave him racing room, sweep around, cut back.
Okay,
that's a move done.
Great pass.
Is going to cost us DRS on Ricciardo, but I can't just sit behind. I have to use battery or hope that they all concertina up through the first chicane again, or through Ascari or something. Try and close back up and get within DRS range again. Otherwise we'll get cut off at the back. Front two are broken away actually. Someone's making a move into Ascari, you saw down the road. Where are you going, Chis? That will keep things slower through here. Hopefully keep us closer to Ricciardo in front. So there are moves being made. It's not just a one straight DRS train. People are actually getting aggressive. Daniel thought about going up the inside of Sonoda there into Parabolico. A little twitch. Very quickly changed his mind. We might be able to make some positions here on the straight as well, using our battery. This is why I upgrade the battery as a priority in career mode, because it can make a big difference. Daniel's gone defensive. Might get both RB at the same time here. Yuki's got the inside line. We're going to sweep around the outside. Hope he gets caught on the apex. Nail the throttle, and we're up to P14. 2 cars, 1 turn, toodaloo. Judging by when it wanted us to stop lap 25, the left-hand side tyres will be about 50% by the time that stop comes around, which will be difficult to manage, to be honest. And if the rain isn't too soon in coming from there, then we might end up going medium-medium rather than medium-soft. We'll definitely not run the hard tyre though, because the rain's coming, so we'll end up running more than the one compound anyway. We get left behind here, so let's use a bit of ERS to try and get back within DRS range, which we have been able to do. Lally. We go again. I'll ask about the weather actually.
Conditions look stable at the moment.
Okay,
no
fine.
rain currently expected.
Rain.
Dry seem like the best tyre for now.
Well, yeah. Rain perhaps by lap 30-ish? At the minute, the front two have pieced out. They are gone. Then it's an 18-car DRS train now, led by the other Ferrari, presumably of Carlos Sainz. I'll try and close up on Gasly if I can over the next couple of laps. Maybe think about making a move on him the same way we made a move on the RBs. I'm a bit too far back here, I think. Or am I? No is the answer. Maybe. Maybe we'll get it done. We got it done. Cheers, Pierre. Alright, P13. Onwards and upwards. Definitely feeling the wear on the left-hand side of the car through the second part of the Ascari chicane. Can't really hug the inside the way that I want to, really. It might be because I'm just carrying too much speed. Equally, it might be because of the tyres now. 8 laps completed, 15% wear on the front left. So we are going to be pretty worn by the time we get to the pit stop. There's chaos in front, 3, maybe even 4 wide there going into turn 1. That's going to bunch the pack right up. Gasly thought about making a move on me there. Thankfully we were able to shut the door on him, and actually Albon might be even making a move on him, but Alex is tucked back behind in the Williams. That's the sort of scenario that is very track specific, isn't it, with the AI? Where they all just kind of back up on one another and you can kind of throw it at the inside and get a move done, like that. Cheers, Fernando.
Okay,
Up to P12, right behind my teammate. And now the team, well, normally there's team orders IRL, and they're like, don't threaten your teammate, you're on the same strategy, let's work together. Here, my team have given me the direct instruction to overtake my teammate. Gladly. Sorry, Kev, but the team clearly favour me now. We've got 52% in the reputation stakes, and evidently I'm now considered the #1 driver here at Haas, and I'm going to put that pressure on you if I can. The Saubers are very high at the minute. Both Saubers inside the top 10, which is particularly not like them based on the experience of the season so far. But in the Sauber, I think they're running a Ferrari engine as well. And as we well know, the Ferrari engine that's in the back of our car is very, very quick. So again, another sign that it being a power track and the Ferrari engine cars are going very well here. Able to save back so much battery through the braking zones, and we've got a hell of a run on Kevin here. Probably going to go defensive. I'm actually going to go super aggressive, get the move done, swing past him and get the move done. Thanks, Kev. Points in front of us now. I'll try and drag Kevin with me, but he didn't seem to be very interested in making any moves on the Saubers before I got in front of him. So maybe me trying to attack the Saubers will put one of them offline, meaning that Kevin can then have a go at coming through at the same time. I'll have to save a bit of battery now, though, I think, to try and close that gap back up. Sorry, use a bit of battery to try and close that gap back up. Again, struggling around the right-hander there because of my tyre wear. It might be driving style. I might be trying to carry too much speed through the first part, but in a minute, we've actually dropped out of DRS range now of those in front, so definitely need to start chewing up all of that battery and closing that gap back up, please. Don't want to get left behind. We want to be within touching distance of the points. A undercut here by probably only the one lap would be very strong, I think, because of all of the backing up and all the fighting here through the tight, twisty sections on the track. So we'll look to box lap 23 or 4, no earlier than 23, I don't think. And depending on what the weather's looking like, we'll probably still go to a medium.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes.
And as if on cue, we probably won't go to a medium because we may well be on intermediate tyres by then. There you go. Thank you, game. Cheers, Mark. That's just the information we wanted to hear as I was talking about it. The timing was insane, wasn't it?
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
I would use my battery to extend, but actually I want to try and bring Kevin with me here for the team. I would have tried to get out of DRS range, but I want to bring my teammate with me. You can see how much extra pace is on the table by how far the front two are getting away. Usually, you lose time when you're in a 1v1 battle like that, but this is like a 10v10 battle. So, even though the front two will be losing time by fighting each other, the rest of the pack are losing even more time because there's so much fighting going on here. Meaning that if we undercut, and just burn battery for the outlap, then there's definitely positions to be made by pitting early if it's still dry at that point. Even if it's not still dry, if we can make the call to go to the Inters one lap earlier and get it right, like we very nearly did in Zandvoort, then there's So many positions to be made, especially with the fact that not everyone will elect to double stack. There's 2 Ferrari in front of us, there's 2 Sauber in front of us, there's 2 Red Bulls in front of us, there's 2 Mercedes in front of us. There's the potential of a podium here in Monza. There really is, genuinely. My only concern is that I'm not competitive on the wet tyre. But that might be because the only information we have is when we ran worn inters in quali, and everyone else might have run a fresh set, which is why we were down in 18th. So perhaps, we might be more competitive in the rain than we fear we won't be, if you know what I mean. Charles Leclerc's actually got a bit of a gap now on Max Verstappen as well, if you'll notice by the mini-map. He's broken DRS on Max and is now starting to pull away. More fighting into turn 1 here. Russell on Perez. Oh, there's so many positions to be made. If you can just get your entry trajectory right, or your exit speed right, exit traction, then we're going to be able to make more positions here. It's another one of those track-specific, the AI aren't quite as good as they need to be for the game kind of scenarios right now. That was nearly dangerous. We're into the points.
Nice move. Good job.
Up past the Sauber and behind the Sauber. I'm going to go for the other Sauber. That was a terrible Scottish accent. Whee! See ya. Hi, Lance. I know I have a lot of commands in the title of the stream, but there are a lot of commands I have done. Exclamation mark mud I don't have. Maybe I would do if it was on F1, if I was in F1 Creator Series. Side by side into Parabolica. Russell and Norris. Carlos Sainz is starting to get away now. Lap 16 we head on to. The rain is on its way, but not here yet.
You're in the dirty air of the car in front. Let's get past them.
I'll try. Do I? Going to... Oh, I might have bitten off more than I can chew here. Yep. Sorry, Sergio. I mean, I gained 2 positions, but yikes, that was a bit over-ambitious. Oh well, P7, lol. We'll change the front wing when the rain comes. Although everyone that goes past you is going to be running significantly faster. I don't know, you probably lose quite a bit of time in a pit stop actually, because the track is so fast. Lando's got a terrible getaway out of turn 2, and we've just quite simply gone all the way around the outside of the McLaren. I don't know what's happened to him there. Awful traction. Up to P6. There was contact at turn 2, was there, Jamie, between Lando and George? Contact in the first chicane? Who'd do that, eh? Not me. No, I got ERS. It's alright. Oh, no, definitely still in trouble. Lando up the inside of the Parabolica. Gets the move done. A little bit of understeer because of the front wing damage, but we're alright. Excuse me, George. No, thank you. Lando's slow in a straight line. Really slow in a straight line. We're going to get him again. On the outside. On the inside. Oh, I've got a tight line though. Trying to leave a bit of racing room there.
A bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving
Thanks for that, Mark.
Yeah, which is going to affect our tyres. So try to get past.
If I didn't know that by race 16 of the season, then I'll never learn it. Just managed to get back to the racing line there ahead of Lando before we got to the corner. Well out of DRS range to George Russell in front now, so we are going to be vulnerable, to say the least. Down every straight now for the rest of this stint, unless we can catch up. This is where the DRS train starts to elongate out. Hi, Lando. Bye, Lando. I could try and get it back again. It goes defensive. which is not doing. It's fine. We'll just bide our time. It's no point making a rash decision now. Made one earlier and got front wing damage. Front wing damage that actually isn't really seemingly affecting the car too much at the moment. I'd be tempted, and tempted only at the moment, to not change the front wing. But given that a number of other cars might double, and other teams might double stack during the pit stops, we can probably afford to lose the time in the pit stop changing the front wing and still overall gain an advantage on some cars. Although there's only the Red Bull and the Ferrari now that have two cars in front of us where we could benefit from a double stack. And the Red Bull and Ferrari are far enough apart from one another, teammate-wise, that they wouldn't really be held up by a double stack. So now is the scenario where actually screwed myself over by getting that front wing damage. We have, however, dropped Lewis Hamilton behind from DRS range and are within DRS range of Lando Norris in front still, so we can extend a bit of a gap here, provided we can stick with the trio in front. Norris is now caught up with Perez and Russell as they continue to fight, and another visual example of just how much time is lost by battling here unnecessarily. Very overcast now though.
That rain is inbound and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain.
Going for it in front. 3 wide. I'm not in DRS range. But hopefully we might be after they fight with one another into the chicane. Perez taken by Russell. 3 wide they're going to be. Oh, we've got a grandstand view of this. Norris gets both of them. Go on, Lando, lad. That's how you do it. Lando Norris just sweeps past the two of them and may well disappear into the distance here.
Okay, be aware, the grip
We are back into Daniel Ricciardo is out of the session. So Daniel pit early for an extra set of tyres because he was doing a 2-stop. And then his car's just going to give up at some point down this straight. There you go. Daniel in the mud to join Pierre Gasly. Gasly's still running, but still very much in the mud. I've got a bit of a run on Perez and Russell here. George is thinking about it. I'm not gonna. We'll bide our time still.
Okay, mate.
Lando's gone though.
Damage and it's going to really cost us. So please, let's protect it and bring the car home.
I think I might have just seen a raindrop. Might have been wrong. Might have been seeing things, but I thought I just saw a raindrop. George and Checo going for it again. It's just allowed Lando to stretch that lead. George clambering over the
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake
sausage
button.
curb there.
We're
Bottas
approaching
and
the
Stroll
pit window
fighting.
and you're going to be on mediums.
Meaning that Lewis has been able to gap them. Now my fear here is that the rain is going to come just after where the scheduled one-stop pit stop is. Meaning that my expectation here, knowing the AI, is that they're all going to box on lap 25 or 26 for a set of dry tyres when the rain is going to come 2 laps later. So if that happens, I will follow what the AI do, otherwise it's just a free win, and that feels stupidly cheap. Oh, Checo. Right, oh, so much understeer. Checo right around the outside of George Russell, and there was a perfect opportunity to try and gain a position, and I ballsed it up. Now then, the rain has started falling here, and our fears about the AI pitting for the wrong tyre at just the wrong time might be avoided if the rain falls very quickly this lap.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this.
Because I fear that some drivers might box for hard tyres this lap and then 1 lap later have to pit for intermediates. Please don't happen. Oh my god, they're so slow into turn 1. Because of my front wing damage, I just don't quite have the ability to take advantage. And the worn tyres, obviously, but their tyres are going to be just as worn at the moment. I've got a bit of a run on Checo though,
Okay, I think we're
but
still
George
the
is
right
right there.
tyres for the time being.
My prerogative as the back car to change my line, but can't take advantage of any opportunity. Lando has taken his opportunity to peace out and disappear down the road, and he's actually caught Carlos Sainz. So quick is the McLaren right now. Oh, I nearly put it in a wall. Everyone behind is gaining now. They've closed by about a second because we keep getting caught up behind Russell and Perez. And
Okay, pit in this lap. lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed
Can't
it.
maximise our
Keep that in
pace.
mind as you approach.
Oh god, I'm really suffering with the tyre wear and the lack of my front left end plate around the Ascari chicane now quite considerably. Neither of the front runners into the pits though, which is good news. Hopefully nobody else in either. They might actually have acknowledged the rain. Hopefully they do. If someone doesn't, then it's significantly far enough behind me that I won't then use the copy the AI strategy to keep things fair, because it's not going to affect our overall outcome. Ultimately, you just don't get enough information, do you, over the radio system? You want to be able to ask for a prediction. Be like, we expect to be moving to intermediate tyres around about lap insert number. Because in real life, the team would have that information and you as the driver will be able to ask for that information, or the team would quite simply just present you with that information so that you can make a decision. Whereas in the game, you can't. Really struggling for traction now. I am vulnerable.
I know these conditions are tough, but bear with it. I don't think the track's ready for intermediates yet.
I'm ready for a new set of tyres, whatever that might be. I am struggle bussing out here right now. Lewis is just going to breeze past.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Lewis losing his back end around there a little bit as well, but it's just, I've got nothing. When it comes to turning right, I've got no grip now. Just able to get myself back under the DRS line to Lewis with a lot of battery usage there. Kevin's in my DRS now too. Well, I thought I was back within the line anyway. The game disagrees. Significantly worn tyres, broken wing, bad combination right now. Car just does not want to stop into turn one at all. Jesus, what? I'm going to start tumbling. This is going horribly wrong for us now. Tyre temps are dropping too. I need that pit stop. I really need that pit stop. I'm going to play the team game. I'm going to let Kevin go.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
The team would call for it there in real life, so I'm going to do that. Temps are dropping, but there's still grip. Although the rain is starting to bounce off the surface now. Are we perhaps at the time? Okay, yeah.
Time to come in and change.
I'm boxing this lap.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
I'm in this lap. Front wing change, intermediate tyres please. Don't go for the inside line because I'm going to box. Hopefully Kevin stays out. Kevin is staying out. We're making the call. We're going to be the first to go to intermediate tyres. We're going to change our wing as well and pray that this is the right decision. I'm going to change the front wing, hopefully as quickly as possible. Still DRS is active.
Okay, go. That was a
Change that
fantastic
to auto
stop.
now.
Faster than we were
I don't know how long this rain is going to last. It might be until the end of the entire Grand Prix. It might not dry up again.
Pit stops. Let's go.
Keep an eye on my tyre temperatures here and see if they maintain temperature. Definitely a little bit of tyre squeal there, but that's fine. Hopefully they don't start to get hot. Hopefully they just stay around about where they are. I think we'll probably go up to about 70 degrees, perhaps with the inters. I'm not sure actually on the parameters, but we've come out ahead of Pierre Gasly. Keep an eye on the deltas, top left, to see if we're gaining time or if we're losing time. They did say 20 minutes of light rain, but I believe it's going to be light rain into heavy rain, or at least 20 minutes of light rain. Light rain here to stay is the call. We are gaining time. We are significantly gaining time. At least on Sargent anyway, and pulling away from Gasly. It's intermediate tyre weather, lads. You need to change tyres. They're still running on their dries. Or it might just be because they're on worn rubber. My tyres aren't overheating, not yet. I think we might have made the right call, you know. DRS disabled. They've made the call, the FIA. That's usually the signal for everyone to start piling into the box.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
At the end of lap 31 now. No, the Ferrari and the Red Bull continue on. Have they not made that call in time, perhaps? Will the McLaren and Ferrari in P3 and 4 actually dive into the box and make some time on the two in front? Yes. This throws the win into chaos because the Ferrari and the Red Bull are going to be losing time hand over fist doing another lap. We've gained significantly on those in front of us by like 5 seconds or so.
Okay, Kevin's in for his stop now.
We might have the opportunity to make loads of positions here. Alternatively, because we lost so much time changing the front wing, we might actually not gain those positions. We might still end up losing places. We were about where Kevin Magnussen is. So we'll see where we come out. There's Perez. Russell's coming out of the pits now. They're all piling out. There's Bottas. We are still down on positions because we had to change the front wing, but our tyres will be up to temperature here, and theirs are not. So hopefully I still have a little bit of a tyre advantage in the short term. But I don't know how competitive I am in the wet compared to everybody else because of our poor qualifying performance.
Keep getting heavier for the next 15 minutes at least.
So I do anticipate going to full wet weather tyres before the end of this race. I'm going to throw out the inside of Lance here. He's seen me coming, not got as much advantage with the tyres there in the braking zone as I feared, or I hope that I would do. But Stroll offline, we will get the move done. Force Lance wide, still leaving a little bit of racing room. Now the move is done, the arrow goes white. We can pull back to the racing line and hopefully go and catch Magnussen and Hamilton in front. Back into the points here, but they are faster than me in a straight line it seems, or at least they didn't get a very good breakaway there. Stroll thinking about making a move. Thinks better of it in the end. Stroll's having a look. Stroll is getting the move done. God, I'm not competitive in the rain. I'm not competitive in the rain. Sag. Now what do I do here? I'm not going to fill the sandwich. I hope that they have a poor corner and I can maybe have a better exit, which hasn't happened. Well, we'll try and stick with this group then. Piastri 2.6 seconds behind. We'll try and stick with Stroll and Bottas and keep ourselves in with a shout of a point towards the end of the race, maybe. If we do end up going to full wets, if we can make that call correct as well, and this time not have to change the front wing, then maybe there are still positions to be made today. Either way, 18th to 11th at the minute is still progress, but it could have been significantly more progress. It's my fault for damaging my front wing, not for the first time this season and probably not for the last either. I have a funny feeling full wet tyres might be a thing by the mid-40s, you know. And then we'll have a decision to make. It might even be sooner than that as we get around here. Look, this part of the track is significantly wetter than the first sector. We might be full wet weather tyres by the late 30s. There's more drama to come yet in this Grand Prix. I'm trying to be more gradual on the throttle adds, but they're just much, much faster than me when I do that. Piastri, I tried to be more gradual getting onto the throttle coming out of Parabolica there, and Piastri's just comfortably made the move because I was cautious when putting the power down. Is he going to hang around the outside? He will. See the gaps in front just grow significantly as I'm more cautious putting the power down. I don't know what to do really. Temperature is seemingly coming under control a bit more, but I'm losing time in managing my tyre temps. As things stand right now, from here we only go backwards, not forwards.
At least another 10 minutes until this rain evens out. Stay alert out there.
Yeah, the tyre temp is definitely coming down though. 88 degrees on the rear left this lap, whereas it was 90 plus last lap, 91 even perhaps, coming into the Ascari chicane. Look, easy on the throttle. I've already lost a tenth to those in front. Now a tenth and a half, now 2 tenths. Now I'm getting overtaken. By being steady on the throttle, I'm just not competitive with the AI. They're able to be much more aggressive with their throttle inputs and maintain traction. Oh man. What could have been a sensational race for us if it had stayed dry. It's going to see us have a frustratingly pointless finish because of the rain. Perhaps. Alonso's going to have me here as well. Try and get back down the straight with battery in the slipstream if I can. Oh, but that rear left just doesn't like me anymore. Only 20% wear already on it. We might end up having to pit again for another set of inters here because the rears are going to be so dead. Trying to fight with Fernando. Little switch back if we can. Wheel spin all the way.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy.
That was a really good move, actually. I enjoyed that one. Sorry, Fernando. I'm going to hold you up a little bit more. Definitely not catching Bottas, though, am I? That's for sure. Fernando's got the run on me.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
A dose of slipstream. Hang it around the outside by coming off the brakes and going back on the brakes again. We are having a bit of a ding-dong with Fernando Alonso right now. It's allowing everybody in front to pull further away and everybody behind to get closer up. And there is quite a few behind in that group. Tyre temps are still coming down. The rain is still falling. The track is continually getting wetter and wetter, but at the moment there's no sign that changing tyre is the right thing to do. Other than maybe for another set of intermediates, but it would be significantly less worn. But you can tell through the Degna there, Degna 1 at least, and Degna 2 underneath the trees, there's a lot more standing water, isn't there? Oh, I'm all over the place. I've got no rear grip. None whatsoever.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
The tumbling continues. What goes up must come down, unfortunately. And we are very much in the down phase right now. Oh, God. I'm a moving roadblock right now. A roadblock that is all over the track. I'm just not very competitive in the wet here at Monza, it seems. This could be chaos. Just ensure that I get no damage from that. Oh God, they're so slow. Try to short shift to try and get some traction, and it just changed up to second as I went to change up to second, so it put me in third and it killed all momentum. Never mind. Zhou Guanyu will probably catch me as well now. And we're down in 16th. From P6 to P16. At the minute, it's either pit and definitely be behind Pierre Gasly and potentially not have enough pace to... Jesus Christ. Unboxing. I've got no grip at the rear. Unboxing.
Right, let's have you in
just making a decision there. There's no point. There's no point just trying to hope that I can keep it on the tarmac.
Let's just focus on this.
And it thankfully postpones the objective, and I don't actually have to overtake Valtteri Bottas, so that saves me some negative XP.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job.
Another set of inters to see if we can actually make some time here, or whether we've just committed to finishing potentially as Logan Sargent comes through dead last in this Grand Prix. Logan's very slow around the corners, but very fast in a straight line. This is annoying. We use some battery to get past him here, though.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
We'll have the edge in the braking zone. Can brake earlier, can turn sharper, can get on the power sooner. We're past Logan Sargent. I'm not sure what's happening with the gaps to those in front now, but Probably only have the chance of catching Pierre by the end of the race,
Okay, so
if at
gap
all.
to the car ahead, 7.7 seconds.
Stay off the grass. There's yellow. Oh, yellow flag as I was looking at the mini map. Put a tyre on the grass and ballsed it up, and Logan Sargent's going to get me back. And Alpine's gone straight on at the Ascari chicane. That Alpine is Esteban Ocon. Excuse me, Logan. He's up and running again, and I've just cost myself 2 seconds to Pierre Gasly. Lovely! Well, what could have been a memorable Italian Grand Prix is turning into, very quickly, a race to forget. Currently, we're about to get bloody laps as well, if you look at the mini-map. Currently, Max Verstappen leads from Charles Leclerc. Then there's Lando Norris in P3 out on his own. Sergio Perez. Then George Russell and Carlos Sainz. And then a bit of a gap back to Fernando Alonso. Although now, actually, I think maybe perhaps Kevin Magnussen. Kevin might well be scoring points for the team here if he can hold on at the front of that very long train. But we are going to box and we are going to retire from this Grand Prix, unfortunately. It's just going to save the wear on the engine. It seems pointless to continue on when we're faster than Sargent, but not as fast as Pierre Gasly. And I will retire from session as we... All right. Well, I was gonna pull into the pits and then retire. I thought it would actually continue on. Never mind. We're retiring from session. I should have let myself get into the pits, then retire. Then maybe it would have just pulled. It's just going to continue driving at the minute. No, there we go. He's going to retire at some point. It's dry again. Lol. So Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix. Then he gets the better of Charles Leclerc. Does Kevin get points? That's the question we want to ask.
Well, that was
yes, one singular point for Kevin Magnussen. Piastri made its way past him. So did Lewis, so did Lance. But he does finish ahead of Fernando Alonso and Valtteri Bottas. One singular point for Haas. Driver of the day, presumably, to Oscar for a P20 to P7 effort. We retire, and Daniel Ricciardo retired, and that's us. Not enjoying Monza. Experience goes down, racecraft goes up, awareness up, pace actually up there, but focus significantly down. Okay, fair enough. Overall, though, we did actually go up a little bit towards 76 rated, which is us moving in the right direction. And we get a new perk unlocked there, which is powertrain component costs reduced by 15%. We'll take it. That means that things will become slightly cheaper, and if the regulation changes are coming sooner rather than later, and they come in that department, then that will help us save for next year, or prepare for next year, 15% cheaper, which would come very much in handy. We've got things potentially being upgraded in the meantime. Got 591 resource points to potentially use here. We're on the way towards Baku next. We'll wait and see what passes and doesn't pass here, because we might well end up spending money on something that doesn't pass, but it seems everything's bloody well passing.
Okay,
everything passed.
Parts have been fabricated, and we're
As
going
we
to
head
have them
to-
with us for the next Grand Prix.
As we head to Baku then, we're actually up to third, supposedly, in the performance index. Again, significantly because of the upgrades to the power unit. Chassis is definitely... Sorry, aerodynamics actually the weaker part here of the car. Although, judging by the pie chart, actually, chassis is the weakest. Although the potential performance is nowhere near where it is for the other departments. So our chassis is just not great, nor does it have the potential to get much better. So I could either go for drag reduction, we could go for improving the DRS, which might be helpful. That ERS part is not going to cost much. That'll be ready for America. I mean, we could get 50%, 53% off that as well. So we might as well utilize that one. And then we'll just wait. And after practice in Baku, we'll do either drag reduction or the DRS. Probably drag reduction, because that in turn will make us better in a straight line everywhere on circuit rather than just through the DRS zones. But let's go and see what the weather's going to be like in Baku for our first ever laps here on this game. I've not driven this circuit at all on F1 24. We'll wait and see actually if we're going to get any news about upgrades, not upgrades, any news about regulation changes? We do not. So what's everyone else done in the performance index here? We've taken a step forward, slightly better than most others, although McLaren are now, on paper, the fastest car. At Baku, it could, again, favour us because of straight line speed, and it's fully dry for the whole weekend, which is lovely. That's a welcome relief. So perhaps in Baku we could have the weekend that we thought we might have at Monza, that we ended up not having at Monza. We'll wait and see. That will be for the next episode, but thank you very much for watching today. Apologies I couldn't quite turn the dry weather pace into wet weather pace at Monza, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to take it on the chin and say, I wasn't fast enough. And for a moment there I thought that had bugged on me and my heart skipped a beat. Okay, join me in the next one at Baku then. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, come and join me on stream and watch every lap of every session. I'll see you next time.